as you're looking at him, the stats are not impressive. 7.4, 4.4. I mean, this is just as a rookie, and he's only getting better. But he's one of those guys that you need that does the dirty work and able to go ahead and play. Very athletic, very athletic. So this is a guy that's going to spell KG, and it's a good guy to learn from. It's Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett, we know, in his prime was with a bad man. He still can defend on the ball. So Kevin Garnett is still who you're going to rely on for defense. Brook Lopez does it all inside the post. Got a mid-post game, able to hit the mid-range jumper. Joe Johnson, who was very impressive in the playoff last year, is the guy who we always were saying, this guy doesn't show up in the big moments. But you can say last year he was definitely very impressive. Matter of fact, he was clutch. To mention this, he was 11 for 14 in the last 30 seconds with a tie or a score, with his team down 1 or 2 points over the last 2 seasons. Pretty impressive. So Darren Williams is still looking to bounce back. We've been rumored to cut down a little bit of his weight. Of course, this would be him not having Jason Kidd at the helm anymore. Jason Kidd is not with the team. So this really depends on this team is going to go as far as Brook Lopez go. Brook Lopez, if he stay healthy, the Brooklyn team could make a little run in the playoffs, but we'll see if Brook Lopez can actually stay healthy. Andre Karolinko also is still on the team, so this team is going to be very interesting to watch and see what they can do. Lionel Hollins, who is actually the coach here now, is saying we got a lot of shooters, a lot of decision makers, a lot of high IQ guys, and I want to utilize that and take advantage of all the personnel that's on the floor. Lionel Hollins did a wonderful job with Memphis, if you remember. So now he's coming to this team and try to get him over the hump. They, as you know, the owner put a lot of money into this team, trading for KG Pierce, who's no longer there, to bring some like mentorship and try to bring some guys that have been there before. He's trying to get him over the hump, but this is one of those gambles that you kind of say a little too late because KG is a little bit over the hill. So it'll be interesting to see where this team goes as well. We'll take a look in Brooklyn. So next team we're going to talk about is the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks went ahead and actually re-signed Carmelo Anthony back. So he is there still. There was a lot of talk that he could be going to Chicago or the Lakers. But he ended up listening to Phil's trajectory or his plan, what he wants to do. Phil wants to go ahead and actually install the triangle offense into the New York Knicks repertoire, and so we'll see what they can do about that. They always talk about defense, but they did trade away Tyson Chandler and Raymond Felton. Jose Calderon comes in, Samuel Dalibert, Jason Smith was a free agent sign that they have. Their rotation really, their starting lineup pretty much look like this. You got Jose Calderon is going to be running the point guard. Iman Shumpert is going to be running the 2. Carmelo Anthony, of course, is still there. Andrea Bargnani is at the 4 position. Samuel Dalembert is going to be at center. Samuel Dalembert is going to be the guy that kind of do the dirty work, pretty much what Tyson Chandler did for him. I guess it's just at a cheaper contract and be able to prepare to get Carmelo some help in next year free agency. Carmelo, you know what he does. He feel like there's an article saying that he feel like he's one of the most underrated stars in the league. I can definitely say he's more underappreciated, but you had a chance to kind of go into your own him and try to go to a team in a winning situation. But then again, I can't knock you, man. If you want to stay around, I know people are calling you dumb for staying there, and it's all about the money. Well, it's time for you to prove to people that know about the money and not what Lala has said to tell you to stay in New York. And she said her acting career will blossom more in New York and everything. And I guess people just want to be closer to family. I can't knock that. But if you want to win, then you had clearly better choice in New York. So, but he's staying. Derek Fisher is the new coach for them. So Derek Fisher is actually going to try to run what Phil Jackson is installing. Of course, Phil Jackson is the GM of the team. And so they're trying to set up for the free agents, and there's rumors of, or there's dreams, or whatever you want to call it, of Marc Gasol actually coming over from the Memphis Grizzlies. So we'll see how that happens and everything like that. Derek Fisher actually had a quote saying, "Successful teams play defense. There's no way around it." Well, that's why I say they talk a big game, so it's up to them to actually show it. Jose Calderon has always been the guy that can actually shoot the open jumper. known for his three-point shooting, can pass the ball very well with the best of them. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes. Of course, his assist and turnover ratio was definitely beautiful. He was ranked 4th in that. While I just mentioned the three-point percentage, he was ranked 4th in the league with that as well. Shumpert is still a player that's still trying to figure out who he is. We know what he can do on the defense side of the ball. He guards your best wing player, but they're really trying to get him to definitely step it up more on the offensive end of the ball. So we'll see how Amon Shumpert actually comes up to the plate and see if Derek Fisher is actually going to get to the guy. Their reserves look like Tim Hardaway Jr., second-year sophomore player. Guy can get hot in a minute, and he had a heck of a rookie campaign with 10.2 points per game. But his defense has been always the question mark for him. So they got a good piece from the draft, but they're wondering because now this team is trying to preach defense that hopefully Tim Hardaway is one of those guys that get it. J.R. Smith is like also a microwave. The guys can come in and give you points in seconds. Then in the instant, he can turn around and give you just inconsistency and missing shots, and you just want to beat your head against the table with J.R. Smith. He's one of those frustrating players that you try to really figure out how he is going to integrate in your system. But J.R. Smith is a guy that can, once he's hot, keep passing the ball because, like more than likely, you're going to enjoy the results. Amar'e Stoudemire, he had a strong finish of the year last year, but we just wonder about Stoudemire and see what he can do with the later years now, still with a huge contract. Of course, he went ahead and did not decide to opt out. He decided to opt in. I can't blame him. He wanted to get the money and get paid. Why not? So New York Knicks is something that we'll see if they can actually make a run in the playoffs here. But they're definitely a team that's looking towards, I want to say, next year and try to really do some damage. As well in free agent class. And to mention some of these guys' records last year, I look at this. Toronto was 48-34. I'm going through the division, so don't mind me. Brooklyn was 44-38. New York is 37-45. They missed the playoffs. Boston was 25-57. Philadelphia was 16-93. Next team we actually want to talk about is the Philadelphia 76ers. Philadelphia 76ers, it's really short and sweet. They're still in this project rebuilding. As you see, they took Dario Saric, who is going to be back overseas, picking Croatia. And then you also got Joel Embiid, who won't even – they say he might make his debut, but don't book on it because he still is battling his injury as well. So you go with another injury guy beforehand, and the year before you draft Nerlens Noel, which, by the way, he had an impressive summer league, so you kind of are raising your doubts about that. But this year they're starting 5 here. Michael Carter-Williams, a ringing rookie of the year. He averaged 16. He had 17 points a game, 6 rebounds a game, 6 assists a game. The guy was just real consistent. Really, they saying that he can really be a superstar in this league if he keeps it up. He had a strong start and he kind of cool off near the end of the year. I guess the team is starting to figure him out. Tony Walton, 13 points a game. You got 3 and 3 rebounds and assists. You got Hollis Thompson, Nerlens Noel. Coming to rookie season in 19 months. He had that ACL surgery. This is one of the guys that I was telling you about last year had an injury, and now he's back in full throw. And you want to wish the guy healthy because he pretty much controls it on the other side of the ball. Henry Sims. I'll be honest with you, Philadelphia, and this guy, I don't really know who this guy is. Luke Monte, you got KJ Daniels, and Alessi Shred, who came over from the Minnesota Timberwolves in the trade. As you know, that Thaddeus Young is not part of this team because now he has been part of that trade and he has been sent to Minnesota. So now they lose pretty much a guy that you know that's been with the franchise. So this is a total youth movement here. They know that there's not pretty here. This is going to be something that it's going to be a process. It really is. This is Brent Brown acknowledging that, saying that I don't even care about the first preseason game. I want to really just go deliberately and very slow so that we just do it right. He's admitting that it's going to be a process. This is going to be ugly for Philly fans. You just got to You just gotta be patient. Your team's going through a rebuild. Ugly it might get, it's gonna get real ugly sometimes. But hey, man, this is what happened. You gotta suck to get good. You gotta take 2 steps back to move 1 step forward and keep moving forward. So, um, this team here is still something that is in a work in progress. And when you see the signs, when you go through construction and it say under construction, you basically put that on their arena because they're basically under construction. So you got to be patient with this team, and yeah, it's gonna be a long season, Philly fans. It's gonna be really a long season, but you just got to be patient and put up with it. Toronto Raptors, they won the division last year. They really didn't have any competition. Well, I guess if you want to say Brooklyn kind of made that strong comeback after the East All Star break, they made a strong comeback and actually tried to make this a competitive division. But it seemed like Toronto was going to get that seed locked up anyways. This is a fantastic young team that is really on the rise. Kyle Lowry did sign back with them. There's a starting lineup. You got DeMar DeRozan, Terrence Ross, Amir Johnson, Jonas Valanciunas is their starting lineup. The transactions for them is they added Lou Williams and James Johnson, Patrick Patterson, and like I said, Lewis Williams is one there as well. He's now 20 months removed from the ACL surgery. Grievous Vasquez is a guy that definitely came on as well and is pretty much a sixth man that can give you some provide scoring. I don't know if he's a top 5 or top 10 six-man candidate, but he's definitely impressive and have really improved this game. But let's talk about this core here as well. You got Kyle Lowry. He came back, and there was rumors that he was going to go to Miami. He was going to look elsewhere, but he ended up signing back with the Raptors with a 4-year, $48 million contract, which is a great deal for them. Kyle Lowry just got that it factor about him. It seemed like he doesn't quit. He knows he's one of these guys that are a little bit smarter than the other guards, a little physical. That's what you love about Kyle Lowry. Anybody would love to have Kyle Lowry on their basketball team. DeMar DeRozan, this kid is blossoming in front of my eyes, man. This is the guy that definitely can. He's an all-star. There's no doubt about it. Dude got 20. He averaged 22 points last year, 4 and 4, 40 rebounds and assists per games. He still has got his three-point shot in the process, working on it. But this is a guy that you definitely want to run your offense through in Toronto. Terrence Ross, there was one game he had where he scored 51 points in the game. And if they're definitely trying to put the ball in transition, this is the guy that you want to go ahead and knock that fast break with. Amir Johnson is the guy that definitely is on the other end. He can defend the ball pretty well. Real physical guy. He has 10 points. He does have his moments when he can actually score in the post and rebound pretty well. And then Jonas Valanciunas is actually this guy. If he actually comes into his own, he can definitely be talking about an up-and-coming young center here. This team is very interesting, so you have to keep an eye out for them. In this division as well, too, you think they'll still be able to win this division. So this division here, the team to beat really, honestly, is Toronto. I just don't see nobody taking their spot away right now. New York is, of course, aiming for the playoffs. Brooklyn is still trying to stay healthy. Brooklyn can stay healthy. Brooklyn probably be the only one that can compete with them again. But I don't see nobody passing Toronto in this division. Toronto will get this division. And so I don't see that. Now, if I was to pick my starting 5 out of this division, it would definitely be DeMar DeRozan running my shooting guard. Carmelo Anthony is going to be definitely running the small forward. Point guard, Rajon Rondo, if he's healthy, I definitely want him running the point guard. As far as center, Brook Lopez is no question. He's pretty much who I will go in this division. And my other player out of this will be, you know what? I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna at least pick a Philly player. So I mean, I would pick Noel too. Noel will be on the side of the ball. He'll definitely help Brook Lopez defend a little bit. So that'll be my top team out of this division here. So so I got Toronto winning the division. This division here, they'll lock it up and we'll go from there. All right, so let's keep this bad boy moving here. All right, so what do you say about that, LeJohn? Yeah, I guess what he said. What, say that one more time, LeJohn?
What?
All right, let's keep this bad boy